Hey, Frank, your thoughts on AD starting the game, clearly struggling movement wise, and what you were seeing with how that played out in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a warrior. He tried to get out there and play through what was going to be we knew was going to be difficult for him to be able to move. He did everything he could from a treatment standpoint to loosen it up, and was hoping that some in-game adrenaline would also help with it. But certainly wasn't moving well at all to start the game, and then went down grabbing it at that one point early in the first.
Phoenix obviously got off to that big lead. Frank, how much of that did you see in terms of the personnel changes and the system changes you had to make without AD? And how did you deal with that throughout the rest of the quarter?
Well, yeah, I mean, credit to Suns, right? I mean, they came out and made, I think, their first 7 threes or 6 out of 7 threes or something like that. Crowder made 3. Booker was red hot to start the game. Obviously just put us in a deficit, and it was too much for us to overcome.
Kyle Gunn.
Frank, what do you think, or when do you think the team turned it on a little bit in the second half? What sparked it, do you think, and how much of it was with that had to do with that small lineup that you went to with LeBron at center?
Yeah, well, I think that's the lineup that turned it around. I think we started a little bit with Mark. We just had to find a way to shut Booker's water off. The guy was just red hot, and we tried to take the ball out of his hands in every way that we're capable of, and we prepared with a lot of different double teams, and to do that, the best lineup out there is a small lineup where five smalls can basically rotate, or Keith or Bron at the 5 can double and then full rotate around the horn, and we were able to generate some defensive stops, get us out on a break, and then there's offensive spacing benefit to that lineup as well. Had our best quarter in that third on both sides of the ball, but obviously we just fell short.
Dan Warkey.
Frank, I guess kind of a bigger picture question. Now that you're here, and kind of it feels like the end of a journey that started 2+ years ago, when you got hired. What was the message, I guess, to your group after you've been on this crazy road together and now can actually step back and exhale?
Yeah, just I don't want to divulge too much of what I said to our guys, but basically that I'm proud of them. We've been through a lot. We had a lot to overcome, and I was proud of them for fighting all the way to the end, and staying together throughout.
Bill Orm.
Frank, as you reflect on this season over the coming months, are there things that you feel like could have been done differently, or is this just a result of bad luck and bad timing on injuries and things that were kind of beyond your control?
Well, I just think the whole thing was a challenge, to play all the way into October and then to start the season as quickly as we did. It was just going to be an uphill battle. None of our guys were prepared, for training camp, and we tried to grind through it, and get our legs under us and get them conditioned the right way. We made moves. The front office made moves. We tried to manage and navigate through injuries as a coaching staff. Just trying to strike that right balance of keeping guys in there and building them up the right way. And ultimately, the injuries that we faced were just too much. With AD and Bron being out for as long as they were, and trying to strike that cohesiveness against a great team, quite frankly. The Phoenix Suns, second best record in the NBA for a reason. This is a matchup. If we're whole, it should probably take place in the conference finals. But obviously, the regular season was what it was with injuries, and we slipped. So we have to take it in the first round, and I would like to see what our group could have done against this team if we were at full strength, but we weren't, and that's sports, and we just gotta do the best we can, make the best of it. And like I said, I was proud of how our guys fought through the injuries.
Dave McMenamin.
Hey, Frank, considering the championship credo of this organization and the back-to-back goal of this specific group, did you feel like you had a group, if things went the right way, would have been capable of reaching your goal? And what, outside of talking about the decisions that Rob has to make and all that, but what do you think has to happen to get back to that mountaintop next year?
Well, what happens next and what I think needs to happen next will all be discussed over the coming weeks. But I do think we had a group that could repeat this year had not been for the injuries. We were 21-6 when Anthony Davis goes down, and then Bron goes down shortly after that. It sort of, it basically derailed our run, and we did everything we can to fight through that, but ultimately it wasn't enough.
We've got time for one last question. Rashawn Haylock.
Hey, Coach. You kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but is it kind of tough to wrap your head around just how quickly this series changed? And is that sort of like a culmination of just what this season has been like for you?
Yeah, that's the playoffs. Playoffs change in a heartbeat. Momentum changes overnight with one game, one shot, one possession, one injury. And, that's just the way the NBA playoffs are. But it's a disappointing feeling for sure. It's gut wrenching. And, we'll get back to the drawing board. We'll take some time away and, let's turn our attention to next year.
Thank you.